Looks like he's ready to fuck some bitches up.
I'm sorry for this!
What?
Hi guys, I just want to take a second to thank all my patrons here who have donated to me. No matter how much they've donated to me, it really means a lot to me. And if you guys want, you can check out my Patreon and help support me continue to make yaoi videos. Thanks guys.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Chess of Blades. In the last episode, we were slapped unconscious by an unknown assailant, and now we're in the underground area below the storage shed or wherever the hell this is. And now we just heard a voice, and now my cat is meowing. Bad cat. But let's get going. A sharp whisper comes from behind me, making me jump out of my skin. Ooh, so they've already got it, something in his mouth? That's the assassin, the one who tried to kill me.
Where is he? You said he'd come down here the second he realised this one was missing.
A second voice comes from my other side. I shoot a glance over towards it, only to see a fully armored figure standing there. He looks like a guard, but why would he be holding me here? The assassin shrugs, twirling his sword in one hand.
Soon.
After receiving a monosyllabic reply, the guard snorts, gripping the sword hanging from his own belt. These two must be the agents of the disciples. Bloody hell, I should have known to ask who was there before opening the door. Stupid Rivian. Well, I mean, I'm sure they weren't going to announce themselves as the disciples of Ignatius. And, if they just said they were like a servant coming to your room, you definitely would have opened the door, so I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I know I can't do anything in my binds like this, so I force myself to sit still and wait. The assassin stays close to me, probably all too eager to drive his blade through one of my limbs if I try anything. The tense, uncomfortable silence continues on for several minutes that each feel like an eternity of their own, and my mind races with all the horrible possibilities in store for me. Hopefully none of them are sexual. Just as I feel like I'm about to rupture from my anxiety, the door before us finally swings open. I try to desperately call out to Sabre.
Rivian! What? You. I should have known!
After rushing forward, Sabre stops abruptly, hissing out to the assassin with a hateful glare. However, it's the guard who steps up, letting out a low laugh beneath his helmet.
Yes, you should have known when you made the idiotic choice to free that girl. It was the best opportunity we had, and you betrayed us. It seems all your passionate hatred for the crown was nothing more than an act. Just like your fighting persona. How pitiful.
Why did he say it like that? Am I not in on the joke? I mean, yeah, I know he was lying about being Scottish, or his accent, but why was that so funny? Why was that... okay, Mr. Guard, I'm not quite in on the joke, but sure. Sabre grinds his teeth together, seething with so much visible anger that it makes my blood run cold. I hold my breath, fighting the urge to close my eyes. He really was working with them. If things had gone only a little differently, then he might have...
It seems you've been associating a lot with this little brat. The son of Varison, isn't he? Revolting. But since you seem to care for him so much, how about we give you a choice?
A choice?
Throw away your weapon, and we untie the boy to let him walk out. You stay behind.
You worthless scum!
He growls deep in his throat, but I can see the agony in his expression as his eyes shift from the guard towards me. For a moment, I feel frozen, unable to do anything except stare back at him in wide-eyed fear. shake my head or stay still? Can you save during these moments? I don't... Oh, yes, you can. Okay, good. Okay, let's stay still. What could go wrong? I stay stock still, watching Sabre pleadingly, but a sense of helplessness steadily grows in me. Surely no one knows we're down here, wherever we are, and I wouldn't be able to get help in time before they killed him. And even if they let me go and I tried to fight back with Sabre, I'd be more of a burden than a help. That assassin would probably tear me down in seconds. After what feels like a painful eternity, Sabre suddenly throws his sword to one side. Shit, no, this can't be happening. But even as I frantically panic in my head, I feel my bind slipping loose and the assassin reaches to pull the gag from my mouth. The ropes fall from my arms and legs, but my body is stuck in place. I can't muster the courage to walk towards the door. I can't believe it. Sabre doesn't deserve this. He shouldn't have to suffer for letting Hazel go. Well, he did kidnap her. But why? Why? Why can't I do something to protect him? Anything? Why did I skip leg day? Why am I the one who always has to be protected? Why am I too weak to help the people I care about? If Sabre hadn't let Hazel go, I wouldn't have been able to save her either. I'm just not strong enough. Not in body, mind, or spirit. I dig my nails in my palms, swallowing tears, and force myself forward. I can't even look at Sabre, but from the corner of my eye, I can tell he's not looking at me either. I failed him. I disappointed him. And I failed him.
Rivian.
What were we supposed to do? Were we supposed to take on the guard and the assassin? What does he want from us? I sharply turn towards Sabre, only to find that he's still not looking at me. Instead, he's staring straight ahead, a glassy and hollow look replacing his normally fiery expression. After a long moment, he lowers his head. He takes a deep breath and a small forced smile rises to his lips.
Be well.
His voice comes out in little more than a whisper, soft and broken. The tears I'd been holding back start to spill out, but I manage to respond with a trembling nod. I can't stare at him any longer. If I do, I won't be able to leave. With that single selfish thought, the only thing giving me any power to walk forward, I step towards the door. By the time I make it outside, I know it's already too late. I could run and get Kieran, but he'd only hate me for leaving Sabre behind. Is he part of Ignatius too? And even if I told Linnaeus, there's nothing that could be done now. For a long few minutes, I stand alone in the gardens, staring blankly up at the starry sky. So okay, sure, Sabre's dead, but are we not gonna, like, get the guards in there to, deal with the rest of Ignatius? Are we just giving up? Sabre's dead. We're just gonna go back to our room after this. Sabre's dead. We're just gonna go back to our room. We're not gonna tell anybody what happened. Oh, Lord. Over and over again, I apologize to Sabre in my head, but no matter how much I beg for forgiveness or silently scream how sorry I am, I know my voice will never reach him again. Well, that was a bad ending. Let's just get to the good ending then. Shake my head. But the second I recover my senses, I vehemently shake my head. There's no way I'd just be able to walk away like that, knowing I was leaving him behind to die. I don't think I could ever willingly sacrifice another life to save my own, even if it was someone I didn't know at all. After what feels like a painful eternity, Well, we kind of did that. We kind of just did sacrifice his life, didn't we? So I don't know if he could never do that, you know. Sabre suddenly throws his sword to one side. Wait, that's exactly what happened last time. Shit, no, this can't be happening. But even as I frantically panic in my head, I feel my bind slipping loose and the assassin reaches to pull the gag from my mouth. He pushes me forward and I stumble towards Sabre. When I come to a stop in front of him, he looks down at me, his eyebrows knitted darkly together. He leans down, cupping my face with both hands, staring into my eyes. I gaze back at him with a lump forming in my throat, and my vision grows blurry with moisture. Then Sabre brings his lips close to my ear, brushing them against it softly.
Rivian, I'm sorry.
It's okay, Daddy. Murder me.
Don't say that, you fool. You don't have to be sorry for Hazel or me or anything.
Well, I mean, you know, maybe if you didn't kidnap her in the first place, you know, maybe you can be sorry for that? I choke back my tears as I grip his coat.
No, I'm not sorry for that.
Swallowing hard, I glance up to Sabre with a sorrowful confusion. And the look I see in his eyes makes every muscle in my body tense up. Looks like he's ready to fuck some bitches up.
I'm sorry for this! What?
Okay, I mean, he's surprised. That's okay. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. And just like that, Sabre picks me up and suddenly throws me forward like a paper airplane. I crash directly into the assassin, and both of us go flying from the brutal force of the impact. His sword flies out of his hand and clatters to the ground, followed by our own bodies a moment later. Luckily, he's beneath me, serving as a cushion for my fall.
Well, this is a little awkward.
As I wince, recovering from the shock, I chuckle nervously down at the equally stunned assassin. Okay, Rivian, probably not the time for trading niceties. I have to go! I leap up off my feet and dive for the assassin's blade nearby, scooping it up and running as fast as I can. A moment later, I hear scuffling as he jumps up and starts darting after me, grunting in frustration.
I'm going to rip your limbs off and relish every scream.
After seizing the moment of confusion to run and grab his discarded sword, Sabre approaches the guard who hastily unsheathes his own blade and retreats a few steps. Shit! This is bad. I'm not too worried about Sabre, but this assassin is hot on my heels. The two men clash weapons, and the force of Sabre's enraged blow makes the guard stagger. But, at the moment of impact, I see Sabre suddenly wince, his face contorting in pain. That's right, his injury! Normally this fight should be a breeze for him, but moving like that probably just reopened the wound on his side.
You...
An infuriated growl comes from behind me. If I turn around now, he'll probably dive for me and grab the sword out of my hands. He's also just as fast as he was before. I definitely preferred chasing him to being chased by him, I'll say that much.
Cheetah. Bastard. Go back to the savannah.
Should we really be making these wisecracks? Or we might die. I expend some of my precious breath to let out a loud curse while dashing forward. A loud grunt comes from nearby as Sabre leaps away from the guard. This is the same CG from the garden, isn't it? You can even tell because you can see like the foliage in the background. He seems to be on the defensive now, despite his superior height and strength, and I can tell things are only going to get worse. God, why didn't you just kill him? Why did you let him walk away? The guard's also in full armor, so even if Sabre does land a hit proper, it probably won't cause any real damage. Well, I mean, those metal armors don't actually work, so I think it will. Shit! A force suddenly slams into my back. I topple down to the floor onto my stomach, pinned down by the assassin's weight. Oh gods! Is this it? Is this the end? His fingers grab my wrist and start to pry the blade from my hands.
Sabre! Rivian!
Kieran! Is that who I think it is? The man I actually want to sleep with?
You're late.
So he is part of Ignatius too. Sabre roars out Kieran's name with delight, and a windfall of strength abruptly appears to flood through him. He charges for the guard with renewed energy, swinging out with all his might. The weight from my back vanishes a moment later. When I frantically turn around, I see the assassin squirming in Kieran's arms, kicking wildly.
Were you trying to give him a hug? You're doing it all wrong, you know? Here, let me show you.
He suddenly starts to squeeze the man against his broad chest, and it doesn't take long before the assassin struggles to breathe. Just before it looks like his bones are about to break, Kieran hurls him away with all his might, and he lands on the floor with a tremendous thud. Well, someone's going to be taking a nap for a little bit.
Sabre, hold on!
He charges towards where Sabre and the guard are still clashing in a desperate struggle. The moment the guard sees Kieran, however, he starts to retreat, but before he can get to a safe distance, Kieran rushes behind him. Just like that, he gets body slammed down to the ground, armor and all. Sabre immediately closes in, ripping off the guard's helmet. He appears to momentarily hesitate, staring at the blade of his sword for a long moment with a wild look in his eyes. Just kill him, come on. It's the look of a tiger opening its jaws to start tearing into its prey. God, I wish he'd look at me with those eyes. Cold, hungry, and utterly feral. But then his gaze drifts over towards me. Oh, thank God he's looking at me with those eyes. Looks like he wants to tear into me. I love it. Gradually, the bestial tint in Sabre's features fades, and his lips twist into a savage smirk. He slams the pommel of his blade down against the guard's head. It looks supremely painful, but it only looks like enough force to render the man unconscious rather than a blow intended to break his skull. He stops struggling, and with that, the previously action-filled chamber goes completely silent. Damn, I was really just starting to enjoy that scene. The only sound remaining is our haggard breathing. Sabre, Kieran, and I are all exchange glances. A long few moments pass where no one speaks a word. Finally, as I push myself up to my feet, a sudden pain in my shoulder makes me wince.
Sabre, I swear the next time you use me as a javelin, I'm going to tear your balls off.
Oh, now I have the image of Rivian just fondling Sabre's balls. I don't like that image. That image just... I don't like it. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Wait. He used you as a...
He turns to Sabre with a look of utter awe. When Sabre solemnly nods in response, Kieran looks as if someone just told him he'd be crowned a king.
You...
We all break out into fits of uncontrollable laughter, one after another in succession, not at the same time. We each listen to each other laugh, and then we wait for the person to finish laughing, and then the next person laughs. It's all very orderly. Partially from relief, and partially from how implausible the whole situation is. It takes a while for us to calm down and catch our breath, and my face grows streaked with tears from so much guffawing. Guffawing. After he makes Sabre promise to recount the whole story of the Rivian spear toss at a later date, Kieran grabs a hold of the guard and starts to drag him towards the door. Despite his injury, Sabre can still easily haul the much lighter assassin over his shoulder and carries him while walking alongside Kieran. It turns out we're in an underground chamber that's only accessible by a ladder, but after a bit of work and multiple trips, we finally manage to get both unconscious men up to the surface. I wish I could burn the image of Linnaeus' expression when we deposited the two snoring disciples into his office into my mind forever. Let's just say it was a sight worth seeing, and my life is definitely much better because of it. So, did we not explain? Wait, okay, let's just read this. After explaining the main points of the story, and tastefully leaving out Sabre's involvement, the three of us leave Linnaeus' chamber and head down the hall, still snickering now and then. Well, didn't we have to leave out Kieran's involvement too? Because he's part of Ignatius too, isn't he? Otherwise, how did he know to go down there? I still have a number of questions I want to ask Sabre himself, including how and why he even got involved with the disciples in the first place. But after all that, I think I'd be better off waiting until tomorrow.
By the way, Rivian, does my invitation to your room still stand?
Sabre suddenly nudges my side as we walk along, quirking an eyebrow at me with a provocative curl of his lips upward.
Well, I suppose it could. You too, Kieran, if you don't want to return all the way back to the fighters' quarters.
We could have a three-way, Kieran. It might be fun. I'm kind of more interested in you anyway.
Really? But I wouldn't wish to intrude on your private time. Wouldn't I be a bother?
Trust me, Kieran. You could never be a bother. The two of them chuckle at my flustered response, but I sulkily lead the way back to my chambers anyway, shooing both men inside. Oh, wait, both of them did come? Okay, that's kind of weird. What if it's not just a joke? What if I actually do get fucked by both of them? Oh god. I don't know what's gonna happen, guys. This is gonna be exciting. I thought the room was fairly large, but now that there are two semi-giants standing around, it feels very small indeed, and I feel very small. However, I can't help but grin a little at Sabre and Kieran as they examine the room with surprise and admiration, gazing all around like two little boys stepping into a castle for the first time.
It's a bit sparse in terms of furnishings, but you know, it's not a bad place. You like it?
Why is Rivian talking like this is his room? Like this is his castle, and this is just a room in his castle. Like, this is like a hotel room to you. The smugness leaks out into my voice before I can help it. I realize my mistake the moment both men's expression darken, taking on a wickedly vengeful tint.
Oh, I like it a great deal. Kieran?
What's going on? Is he actually... Did he just disrobe? As soon as Sabre calls to him, Kieran steps forward to press up behind my back and taking a hold of my hips. What? Sabre approaches me a second afterwards, and his large, warm palms pressed to either side of my face. Am I really gonna get destroyed by two men simultaneously? What? I was just joking. I didn't really... I mean, I don't know why I'm complaining. I've been bitching about wanting to be with Kieran, but I'm still surprised. I did not see this coming in any way. Was this foreshadowed? I don't think it was. Gotta always foreshadow those threesomes, okay? That's just storytelling. 101. Is this really happening? Should I be scared or aroused or scare-roused? This is the same CG from the castle, or from the storage room when we first met him. Well, when we first kissed him. Almost ravenously, Sabre dives in to press his lips against my own. I find myself returning the kiss with a similar eagerness that surprises even me, and I run my fingers through his bright hair to pull it slightly. I was so terrified back there. For Sabre even more than myself. I realize how thankful I am that we're here together safely, and that my concern for him stems from something more than friendship or admiration.
Hey. Are you really not going to share, Sabre?
I mean, Kieran, you're very attractive, and I was coming on to you, but I think I'm having second thoughts. I mean, I really don't know you very well. You know, I spent like an hour or two with Sabre by now, but you, I don't think we've known each other long enough. Kieran's playfully hurt words suddenly purr from behind my ear, and I pull back from the kiss in surprise. Sabre lets out a soft sigh, nodding somewhat reluctantly.
I guess I do owe you one, after you saved us back there. Go on.
Hey, you can't trade and pass me around like I'm a bag of chips? Wait, do I not have any say in this at all? Am I just a fleshlight to them? A little fuckhole? I guess I am just a little fuckhole to them. I'm abruptly turned around to face Kieran instead, who gently but swiftly pulls me into a kiss. His lips are softer than Sabre's, and he warmly presses forward with his tongue to tease it into my mouth. Does it make me a harlot to say that I don't really mind this at all? Oh lord, guys. I think I'm gonna end this episode of Chess of Blades right here, right before the threesome. But, watch out for the next episode, because Rivian's about to get double penetrated, I hope. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he'll just be spit roasted. Double penetration or spit roast. We'll see what happens. Crossing my fingers for double penetration, okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!